Hey everyone, so welcome to my playlist on multiple integration. So today we are going to see what are spherical coordinate or the spherical coordinate system. So like in double integration, you have seen two types of coordinate systems. One was Cartesian, one was polar. In triple integration, we are going to see three types of coordinate systems. So the first one was Cartesian, then in the previous lecture we talked about cylindrical, and today we are going to talk about spherical coordinate system. So we will see what are the spherical coordinates, we will derive the spherical transformations, because usually when students directly see the formula they get scared, oh how will I remember this? But don't worry, I will give you a very simple diagram, and if you keep that diagram in mind and the part of cylindrical coordinates, this too will give you the transformations for spherical coordinate system. After that we will see why the name spherical and some nice things which one should know when they deal with spherical coordinate systems, and we will conclude by looking at some couple of examples. Okay, so now let's start with the first points. So in Cartesian coordinate system, what you had x comma y comma z. So what is this point? This point is the intersection of three planes, x plane, y plane and z plane. So you get a point. So this was for the Cartesian. What was for the cylindrical? It was r, theta and z. This point is the intersection of a cylinder because the r gives you the cylinder, theta is the angular plane and your z plane. So this point is the intersection of a cylinder, angular plane and the z plane. Now in spherical, any triplet is of the form rho, phi and theta. So this is how coordinates in spherical coordinate system looks like, where rho is what? It is a distance of a point from origin in three-dimensional space. So we will see that this gives us the sphere. This is the angle made with respect to z-axis. We will see that this gives us a cone, and this is our normal theta, angular plane, the theta in two-dimensional space. Okay, and there is a restriction on phi also. Phi is only from 0 to pi, whereas theta we take from 0 to 2 pi. So how this gives us the sphere and why this restriction, that we will talk in a moment, but this is how a triplet in spherical coordinate system looks like, and therefore this point is the intersection of a sphere, cone and the angular plane. Okay, so that's what the difference is between these three coordinate systems. So now what is rho? So this is what we have. Rho is a distance of a point. Which point? The point in three-dimensional space from origin. Your phi is the angle made with respect to z-axis. I will let you know how. And this is the restriction on phi. And theta is our normal angle made with respect to positive x-axis in anti-clockwise direction. So this is what the notation stands for. Now usually when you talk about spherical coordinate systems, you always see the transformation that you replace x by something, y by something, z by something. Now how that something comes into that picture? Okay, so instead of stating that directly, let's try to derive that. Okay, so for that I need to draw a point in three-dimensional space. This is my x, this is my y and this is my z. You take any point P over here, which is x comma y comma z, and you call its projection. This is my xy plane. Okay, so you call its projection over here as x comma y, right? So this is my y point over here, this is my z and this is my x over here. Now what is my rho? So this is a distance of this point. So this is my rho, right? So it is a distance of a point from origin. So like one can see from here, what is my rho? It is a distance of this point from origin. So square root of x square plus y square plus z square. That is my rho. Now what is phi? It is the angle made with respect to z axis. So this is my angle phi over here. It is the angle made with respect to z axis. Now from here one can easily see, if you concentrate over here, OP and whatever, if I call this as R, I know that this distance is how much? Z. This distance is Z units, right? So in triangle this OPR, what do we have? What is my cos of phi? My cos phi is nothing but adjacent upon hypotenuse, because this is 90 degree. So adjacent upon hypotenuse. So what is my Z? It is rho cos phi. So this is the transformation for Z. So whenever you see Z in the equation or in the problem, you replace your Z by rho cos phi. That was one thing. Now here, this is the point in xy plane. So what is its distance from origin? Our distance is small r, the normal polar coordinates wala or the cylindrical coordinates one. So you have this. Now if you let me call this as P prime because it is the projection of P. Now if you consider this O, P and P prime, this is 90 degree, right? Because I am projecting a point in two-dimensional space. Projecting means straight 90 degree. So therefore this is a 90 degree. So what is my, so now if you observe this one, R, O, P and O, P and P prime, this two angles are same, alternate angles, right? Because this line is parallel to z-axis. So this acts as a transversal, your standard high school geometry. So these are alternate angles. So this is equal. Now what is my sine phi? So from here if you observe, your sine phi is nothing but opposite. What is opposite? R. What is hypotenuse? Rho. So therefore your R is nothing but rho sine phi. So yeah, that's all. So these two triangles will give you the relation for R and Z. And now if you remember these two things, now if you recall your cylindrical coordinate systems ka thing. So what was the cylindrical coordinate system? So your X was nothing but R cos theta, your Y was R sin theta, and your Z was Z, right? This you had in cylindrical. Now in spherical what you have, you replace your R. What is your R? Rho sin phi. So therefore your X is rho sin phi sin theta, rho sin phi, what is this? Cos theta. Your Y, what is your R? Rho sin phi. So this is rho sin phi sin theta. And what is your Z? Z we just not derived, it is rho cos phi. So you simply remember your R and Z and you plug in the cylindrical coordinate system, and these are the transformations for spherical coordinate system. So usually students directly see this and they get scared. So don't worry, it's very simple. Just keep these 2 points in mind, your job is done. So this was about the transformations from Cartesian to spherical. Now one last thing is left is what to replace your dv by. dv means dx, dy, dz or dz, dy, dx, any of the 6 possibility. So that you replace your, obviously here instead of xyz it will be d rho, d phi and d theta. But like in cylindrical you had r factor, in polar coordinate also you had a r factor. Here that factor is rho square sin phi. Okay, so square of the distance and sine of the angle phi. So rho square sin phi, this is called as a Jacobian. How this comes into picture, that I will tell you in my next lecture, where I will talk about Jacobians and the substitution in multiple integrals. But as if now, just keep this in mind. You replace your dv by rho square sin phi into d rho, d phi and d theta. And once you do this transformation, you get the setup for spherical coordinate system. So if you have a problem in Cartesian coordinate system, what you do is, if you want to solve this by spherical coordinate system, you replace your x by rho sin phi cos theta, y by rho sin phi sin theta and z by rho cos phi. So now you have something in terms of say rho, phi and theta, that's what you have, and you replace your dv by rho square sin phi. So rho square sin phi d rho d phi d theta. Right, so this is what you have over the region R. So that's how you do the transformation. Now usually students ask me when to use cylindrical, when to use spherical, when to use Cartesian. So whenever you see the word cylinder in the picture, or x square plus y square equal to r square, or x square plus z square equal to r square, or y square plus z square equal to r square, all these things gives you cylinder. So whenever you see cylinder in the picture, you prefer cylindrical coordinate system. Whenever you see sphere in the word, or x square plus y square plus z square equal to some 2 square or 4 square, or equation of sphere, you prefer spherical coordinate system. Even if you see the word cone into the picture, cone, then you can either prefer cylindrical or spherical. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule. So for cone, you sometimes spherical are easy, sometimes cylindrical are easy. So depending on these things, you have to choose that which coordinate system will help you out. Okay, now let's come to the fact that why the name spherical, and that phi, it is the angle with respect to z axis, why we restrict it from 0 to pi only. Okay, so for that I'm going to do little bit of aerobics or hand movements over here, so but just for your understanding purpose. So let's go to that 2 critical things. So this is a triplet in spherical coordinate system. This is our rho, it is a distance from origin. Okay, now as soon as I give you rho equal to something, suppose if I give you 2 comma pi by 4 comma say pi by 3, then question is how does this point looks like? I told you at the start that this is the intersection of a sphere, a cone and the angular plane. Let's try to see how those things are coming over here. So now as soon as I give you rho equal to 2, so when you put rho equal to 2, what you get? X square plus y square plus z square equal to 4, right? 2 square. So you have what? This is an equation of sphere. So if this is my xy plane, okay, now this is fixed, okay, this will be my origin, positive x-axis, positive y-axis, and this will be my positive z-axis. So this is what I have. This is my negative part. Okay, this is my first octant. Now as soon as I gave you rho equal to 2, you look all those points whose distance from origin is 2 units, or in short x square plus y square plus z square equal to 4. So what you get? You get a football over here, you get a sphere of radius 4. So since rho will give you the sphere, that's why it is called as a spherical coordinate system. Okay, now see, this is my z-axis over here, our z-axis. Now what is phi? It is the angle made with respect to z-axis, and we restrict it from 0 to pi. Why so? Because, okay, so now this is my z-axis, okay, positive z-axis. Now if I am taking this much of angle, so therefore if this was my z-axis, this is tilted, that means this angle is phi. So from z-axis to x-axis angle is pi by 2, from positive z-axis to negative z-axis angle is how much? Pi. I am saying no need to go beyond this pi, you only restrict from 0 to pi, your job is over. Why so? As soon as someone gives you phi equal to pi by 4, from z-axis you make an angle of pi by 4 and then you draw the cone over here. So you draw a cone. So what is the intersection of a sphere? So you had a sphere over here and then you are having a cone over here. So what is the intersection of a sphere and a cone? You get a circle over here, right? So you had a sphere, you are cutting it out with a cone, so you are getting this circle over here, right? And now suppose theta is pi by 3, 60 degree. So with the x-axis you make your 60 degree and you draw this angular plane. So you had a circle at the top because of the sphere and the cone, and now because of this angular plane you are getting this plane. So intersection of a circle and the plane is nothing but a single point. So that's how you get a single unique point. Our rho is greater than 0, phi is 0 to pi and theta is 0 to 2 pi, right? Suppose if you wanted point over here, instead of this point you wanted in the second octant. So what you do? You take pi by 3 plus pi. So you keep first two things as it is, because this will give you a sphere, this will give you a cone, and intersection will be a circle over here. Suppose if you wanted this point, not this point. This point we got when your when was theta was pi by 3. Now you take pi by 3 plus pi by 2 means 3 pi by 4, whatever, this angle, and then you draw this plane. So you get this intersection as a circle and a plane. If you want this point of the circle, you take phi to be pi by 3 plus pi, which is 4 pi by 3, and this is the angular plane you get, and this is this point of the circle. So whichever point of the circle you want, you vary your theta from 0 to 2 pi. So that's why theta is 0 to 2 pi. Suppose you want somewhere bottom, so you take phi to be more than pi by 2, because z-axis to x-axis it is pi by 2, from x-axis to negative z-axis it is again pi by 2. So suppose if you take say 120 degree, so you go till 120 degree and then you draw the cone. So you had a sphere and this is the downward cone, so here you get a circle, right? And once you have a circle, with the help of the theta you get the unique point. Okay, you get the unique point. So that's how you plot the points. Okay, now why phi is 0 to 2 pi? Because as soon as I have some angle, I draw the cone. So you take pi by 4, or even if you take minus pi by 4, you are getting the same cone. So why to go on this side? You only stay till here, because if you take 120 degree, you have something like this, and then you draw the cone. Or you take minus 120 degree and then you draw the cone. So you get the same thing, because ultimately you are drawing a cone. So if you take 0 to 2 pi, you are getting that cone is covering everything in the 3-dimensional space. That's why we only take phi from 0 to pi. I mean, this is one reason. Another reason is you want one-to-one correspondence. This should give you the unique point. So therefore, that's what the restriction on fee is. So I hope this whatever action I did, that is clear to you. If not, you can go to the settings and either you can slow down the speed or you can increase the speed so that the things will be clear. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section as well. Okay, now let's go for some examples. So here is the example. You need to find the volume bounded by rho less equal to, that means sphere, starting from 0 to 2, and it is bounded by these two cones. So this is the volume what I am supposed to find. So you go by spherical coordinate system. So volume triple integration, your function is 1. What is the Jacobian part? Rho square sine phi and d rho d phi d theta. Now rho is given to you, it is from 0 to 2. What is my phi? Phi is also given to you. But let's see what is the volume that you are trying to find. So this is my xy plane, this is my z axis. So you have a sphere of radius less equal to, so the solid sphere. Okay, the short put I think. Okay, anyways. So now you take phi equal to pi by 3, which is this angle 60 degree, and you draw a cone over here. And you take 2 pi by 3 and then you draw the cone over here. So you have this as one cone and then this you have as another cone. So you have to find the volume between these two cones and inside the sphere as well. Okay, so it's kind of, you take this as one cone because this is your pi by 3 and then you revolve, you get a cone over here and then you have this bottom cone that you are getting by drawing an angle of 2 pi by 3. Okay, so to find this volume between these two cones, and it is within the sphere as well. So that's kind of the surface whose volume you need to find. So phi is given from pi by 3 to 2 pi by 3, and what is the theta? It is 0 to 2 pi. So now if you try to solve this, now this is easy, right? For this you have, there is no theta, so for theta you will have 2 pi. For rho you have rho cube by 3, means 8 by 3, and integration of sine phi is minus cos phi pi by 3 to 2 pi by 3. So your first homework is you have to tell me the answer for this first problem. That is the first homework. So you just pause the video, solve this and comment the answer. Let's go for another example. Okay, so here is the second example. So you need to find the volume of a smaller region. So you have a sphere. So you have a sphere of radius 2. So you have this solid football and you are cutting it with a z equal to 1 plane. So it's kind of, if you try to draw the figure over here, so you have something sphere over here. So you have a sphere over here. This is my x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and it is a sphere of radius 2. And you are cutting it with z equal to 1 plane. So if you try to cut it with z equal to 1 plane, what you get? You get a circle over here. That's the intersection, right? So this is my z equal to 1 plane. So this plane will cut the sphere in two parts, upper part and the bottom part. Obviously, which is the smaller region? This is the smaller region. So this is the volume you need to find. So if I erase this and only let me draw the topmost part. So it was cut by a plane and this is what we have, right? So this was z equal to 1, this is 2. Okay, this is what we have. I want to find this volume. Okay, now if you want, you can draw a circle over here. I'm not that good in drawing, so yeah. So that's the cap you have, whose volume you need to find. Okay, now this is my origin y and this is our x, this is our z. Now I need to find the limits of rho, phi and theta. Now what is the projection of this in xy plane? It's a disk, right? So theta is not a problem. Theta is from 0 to 2 pi. Question is, what are the limits of rho and what is the limits of phi? Now like you saw in polar or cylindrical coordinate systems, whenever you had a straight line, that means what? Trigonometry came into picture. Here also you want to find the limits of rho. So you draw this line because rho is a distance from origin. So you draw this line and you see from where it is entering the domain and from where it is leaving the domain. So it is leaving from this sphere. So that's not a problem. I know that sphere is less equal to. Question is, from where it is entering from this straight line. So you concentrate over here. Question is, how much is this distance or how much is this distance? So you consider this triangle over here. This is 90 degree. This is the angle, say phi. this adjacent side is always fixed, which is 1 unit, z equal to 1 plane, and this is my hypotenuse rho. Or you can apply that trigonometry over there, or you know that z is nothing but rho cos of phi. So what is my z? Z is 1. So when you put z equal to 1, your rho is 1 upon cos phi, which is secant of phi. So the limits of rho are sec phi to 2. So these are the limits for rho. Now what are the limits for phi? Phi will start from z axis and it will go till here. This is the maximum value where your phi will go. Let me erase this so that you won't get confused. So this is what we have, right? Now what is phi? Phi is starting from z axis and it is going till here. So question is, phi is starting from 0 till where it is going. So I need to find this angle. But this is a point on the sphere as well. So I know that this distance from origin is 2 units. This is 90 degree. So if I concentrate on OAB, this right angle triangle, I know the adjacent side is 1 unit. I know the hypotenuse is 2. So again, if I use this, what is cosine of phi? It is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Adjacent upon hypotenuse. So your phi is nothing but pi by 3, 60 degree. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So phi is from 0 to pi by 3. So we now got all the limits, and now the things are easy to solve, right? So what is the volume? To find the volume, you simply take triple integration 1 times the Jacobian is rho square sine phi d rho d phi d theta. Theta is going from 0 to 2 pi. Your phi is going from 0 to pi by 3, and rho is going from sec phi to 2. And now this is easy, right? Your theta is 2 pi. Integration of phi, you have sine phi over here. What is rho square? Rho cube by 3. Rho cube means what? 8 minus sec cube of phi d phi. Now you take this sine phi inside. So 8 sine phi, you know the integration of sine phi is minus cos phi. This is sine into sec cube. What is sec cube? 1 upon cos cube. So actually sine into sec cube is nothing but tan into sec square. And now I think your job is done. Now there's the hint. So there's the place I'm going to stop. And you have to tell me the answer. So that's the second homework. So you have to tell me the answer for these 2 questions. And if you have any other doubt or any other problem which is creating a problem, you can ask me that question in the comment section. I will be happy to answer that. So I hope you understood the basics and some good things about spherical coordinate systems. If yes, do not forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you.